It's Mother's Day this weekend, and while it's usually a day of celebration for many, not everyone feels that way on Mother's Day. In fact, it's the hardest day of the year for Dr. Maggie.
Yes, it is. And it's in 2018, actually. I think that was the year when our Facebook group was formed. I wrote a post actually about why Mother's Day was the toughest day and still is the toughest day of the year for me. So I think today we're going to share the story about some of the stories about my mom and how she actually inspired the formation of the Transform program.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. And right off the top here, we're greeted by this beautiful image. I'm Ann Emanuel, your co-host, alongside Dr. Maggie, UMD, functional and holistic medicine physician. And we're seeing a gorgeous photo here, Dr. Maggie.
Yeah. So I am, as you guys know, I'm a functional medicine physician and the creator of Transform Protocol and the Facebook group Transform Autoimmune Disease Naturally. By the way, we're celebrating being the largest autoimmune Facebook group on the planet. So if you haven't joined the group yet, make sure you join the group Transform Autoimmune Disease Naturally. And if you're watching from YouTube, make sure you give us a thumbs up and a subscribe. That'd be really great. Today, we're actually going to be celebrating Mother's Day, but it is the hardest day of the year for me to do a celebration because I miss my mom so damn much. And she is the inspiration behind the creation of the Transform Autoimmune Disease Naturally program and the Facebook group. And I would love to start by just sharing that let me take a look right here. In 2018, yeah, let me go ahead and share my screen. Yeah. In 2018, I wrote this post. This was pretty much within the first year that Transform Autoimmune Disease Group was formed. And I said then, and I say it now, that Mother's Day is the most painful day of the year for me because I miss her so much. Yeah. ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, struck my beautiful, healthy mother at the age of 62. And 18 months later, she was dead.
That's a challenging illness.
It is. And I think that for me, having a lot of autoimmunity is mystery illnesses and symptoms. And many people in our audience today don't have a diagnosis. Many do. But even if you have a diagnosis, many of you have all these mystery symptoms. And so there's a lot of mystery around it. And I have a special place in my heart for what I call these zebra illnesses or orphan illnesses where people don't know what really causes them. But more and more, we're finding out that they're autoimmune. Even in ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, we're finding that there are genetic components to it and that there's likely an autoimmune link.
Look at your mommy there.
That was probably about 2 months before she passed away, actually, when I looked at the date of that photograph.
Wow. And so I imagine she was very ill at that point.
Yeah, she couldn't speak. She couldn't speak. She was having trouble swallowing. And so for me, it really inspired me. I look at my mom, and I've said this in other videos, where my mom took one for the team. And just like us all of us mothers here that are watching and who will be watching later, when we have autoimmune issues ourselves, when we have these mystery illness struggles, when we have the health symptom struggles, we are taking one for the team for our children. And I think either way, whether the two most important ways with which we influence our children is either as a example, meaning you do something different, they want to be just like you, or as a warning, you suffer the consequences of something, and your children, because of that warning, don't want to repeat that again. And my mom was both. And what I found was that with her passing, it really, the pain of that and the fact that she already had Hashimoto's, another autoimmune disease, it really did haunt me in a lot of ways because I wanted to make sure that not another family loses another mother or dad or a family member to these mystery illnesses or autoimmunity, which I consider reversible and preventable.
It lit a fire under you.
It did. But people don't talk about autoimmune disease that way. People don't say, oh, autoimmune disease is reversible.
Never.
It's preventable. And the truth of the matter is, it frickin' is. And so for me, that really prompted me. And look, I was scared to die like my mom.
Did you think that that was going to be a similar fate, that what she suffered?
Yeah, my mom got ALS at 62. I'm currently 52. And when I turned 52, one of the first thought in my head was, I have 10 years.
Right.
I
But
mean, this is how it affects all of us. It affects the generation below us. So it really shaped me to say, hey, I am going to do something different. I will not be a warning. I am going to be an example. I'm going to turn my health around. I'm going to help other people do that. I want to show my kids by example how I'm not going to let them lose me. And I'm certainly not going to let autoimmunity strike them. How do I do that? That's what prompted this.
And I'm sure every day she's with you in everything you're doing. You think about her probably at some point every day.
I do. I mean, we just right before we hopped on, we talked about how our mom's influence, it has influenced me tremendously as a woman, as a doctor, as a partner, and as a mother, right?
Mhm.
And you mentioned that, you mentioned some things about your mom as well. Like, how do you think your mom has influenced you as a mother?
Oh, absolutely. My mom really instilled in me that attitude of never giving up, regardless of the circumstances that may come your way. If there's a will, there's a way. You can figure out some way to get what it is that you need to get. The other thing I'll say about my mom is she is 100% Irish, and she really instilled this sense of humor. You have to have humor. It's so important, whether it's a happy time or whether it's a tough time. Bringing a little bit of that lightness goes a long way in getting through it.
It's really funny because my partner is currently Irish as well, and he cracks me up. I mean, that's funny. We laugh so much, and I'm just like, I think humor in man is damn sexy.
It's necessary in life too, because we're all going to be faced with tough times, right? So
Well,
it's just a matter of, okay, how do we react to it? And it won't always be with humor, but if you can find the humor in something, even if it's tough, listen, your life's going to be better for it.
you want to hear one thing that, like, my mom has all these ancient Chinese sayings, right? And it was one of those sayings where she would look at us, my sister and I. It translates horribly to English, but I love the thing behind it. She was like, Maggie, if you lift your tail, I can tell if you're gonna pee, poop, or fart.
What?
Like, it's this ancient Chinese saying, like, I know you. I know you.
I see you. I know what you're about to do.
Well, and the funny thing is I say that shit to clients now too. So they're
You're
like,
like,
I know you. I see what you're doing. As my mother would say, you're
are you
lifting
lifting
your
your
tail.
tail? But you get it from your mom, and you're thinking
Yeah.
about your mom, and it does translate. Now that you've explained it, it makes sense.
This is my mother's dress. I'm the same size as my mom when she passed away. My mom was a avid ballroom dancer, square dancer, singer. She organized events and parties for the community. She was no wallflower.
No.
And my mom really taught me to really, don't be afraid to step up, stand up. Don't be afraid to lead. Don't be afraid to be in the front of this, good and bad.
Mhm.
And so really it was with there's just so many things that my mom inspired, there that I'm wearing. I have her clothes, and I love to wear her clothes too, because she's a fashion designer. I mean, this woman as a kid growing up, I think I can't remember what year she was born, but I believe she grew up during the Depression in a third world country. Essentially, at that time, Hong Kong was a third world country, and her family was abandoned by her dad. And so, as a single mom led household, they were dirt poor. Her mom was a laundress, and my mom was pretty much the sole main breadwinner in the entire household.
Wow.
At the age of 12, she was working in a garment factory.
Oh,
And by the age of 16, she was the manager of that garment factory.
wow.
And by her mid 20s, she was owning and designing her own fashion, and had owned several boutiques that were in Hong Kong that were extremely successful. So look at that level of resiliency. Look at the decisions,
Mhm.
actions, and risk taking that this woman did that I'm made of, that I'm made of.
Well, that's what I was thinking is we certainly see that in you, you know, she certainly gave you a lot of those qualities, whether or not you're inspired by her. I think you are her. You have a piece of that in you.
I do. I agree with you. And so for me, like she inspired this program, but I think that for me every day, I want to strive to embody all the lessons that she's taught me. Because at the time she passed away, I was at the bottomless pit of hell myself in my sickness and mindset. And I live every day hoping that she's up there, she sees me, and that I'm making her proud because I wasn't making her proud at the time of her death.
Well, I think if she were here today, she would be exceptionally proud and probably is very proud. I wonder, what do you think she would say to you right now if she were here about everything that you've created in her honor, in her
Yeah.
memory, and all of the people that you've helped? What would she say?
So here's the thing. This sounds like an interesting lesson, but like I was remember like having severe neck pain so badly for 3 years that I was pretty much near disabled. And I was so depressed. And I was on the phone with my mom. She was diagnosed around, I think, July. And this was September. This is 2 months after her diagnosis, right? And I was feeling damn sorry for myself. How many of us out there feel sorry for ourselves?
Yes.
And this woman dying with ALS. And I was like, I can't handle this pain anymore. I can't work. My self-worth is gone. And life isn't worth living. And my mom's like, seriously? And, like my mom's literal BITCH slap. And she said, hey, Maggie, if have you absolutely done everything and anything for this problem? And I was like, yes. And she's like, really? And I was like, no.
No.
And she's like, what haven't you done? And I go, I haven't had surgery. I was really dead set not to have neck surgery. And she's like, you call up that neurosurgeon on Monday. You haven't tried everything and anything. And that's the thing is we hear this all the time on the phones. Like, and people call us like, I've tried everything and anything and I've done it all. I know it all and it's not better. And the truth is she asked me to list how many things I tried. And I tried about 10 things over those 3 years. And she's like,
a lot.
It is a lot. But some of it, like I went once to an acupuncturist. Oh, I tried acupuncture. I mastered it and didn't work. BS.
Right.
No. And she called me out on it. She called me out. And this is why I call people out. I call people out.
And you do. I've witnessed it on the calls, but they're so thankful for it in the long run because they need that. Obviously, they're with you for a reason. They found you for a reason. And it's because they haven't yet tried this.
No. And the thing is, just because you tried something once, you didn't even dabble in it. But yet you think, oh, I've tried it all and it didn't work. And I think that that's like a mindset problem. And it was for me. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Don't lie to yourself and think you've tried everything. And be open, be curious, and realize like there is always an answer to something, right? And there is always an answer to something. And you got to keep searching for it. You got to keep going and look for what makes sense to you. Like, my mom was like, why wouldn't you have surgery? I'm like, because I'm just adamantly opposed to surgery. She goes, really? So you're adamantly pro living life of hell that's suicidal for you?
It's a good point. Point taken, Mom.
And I bring those lessons now to people where people are like, oh, what's the guarantee if I try something and that it's going to work? I go, well, you sure as hell signed up for a guarantee when you don't do jack with it.
Yeah.
If you don't make a decision and do something different, you're guaranteed a shitty outcome, period, because you already have evidence of that. And that's basically what my mom said in her Chinese mannerism way. But so I do embody that. And there's a lot of like really, I call it like my mom gave me a lot of come to Jesus.
Yes.
And so I am not afraid to do a come to Jesus, at all, ever,
She instilled a lot of great lessons in you. So far what I'm hearing is that basically don't feel sorry for yourself and try everything. If you think you've tried everything there is, think again. She was an action taker and she also inspired you by taking one for the team. I know you were also telling me she was all about doing your very best.
Ooh, yeah. My mom was always do your best. Have you tried your best? Have you done your best? And if I ever would, come on, how many of us really truly have done our best before we give up?
And you have to be honest with yourself about it.
Yeah. And when I'm truly honest with myself, then that's a big kick in the butt. And I'm like, what can I do to do better? What can I do to do better? And she was smart as heck. And it was really important to my mom that, like, she's intelligent and she thinks so fast and she talks so fast that you got to always catch up with her. But yet, she was really big to impart that, make sure that people really understand, you bring people along with you with her high level of intelligence. And so for me, I've learned slow down, but also like learn how to really talk to people and relate to people and teach and speak in a way that people can really learn and understand. And because there's a lot of doctors that talk like this encyclopedic thing where you don't understand anything that they're saying. And so for me, my mom really taught me like relationally. It's really about connection. It's about relationships. You really got to talk to people at their level. No matter how smart you are, how much you know, you got to talk so that they understand what you're saying. And I really took that to heart. And this is the reason why I love to teach so much. And yes, the 5 Pillars Protocol is really complex. Yeah. The Transform Autoimmune Disease Protocol is complex. But the thing is, it works. Yes. And I would say that my mission in life is to explain really difficult to understand concepts and patterns in a really simple, understandable way so that anyone can understand it, so that they can make decisions and take action and do something and get results and outcome. That is my mission. And I think it's definitely been inspired by my mom's directness, her intelligence, and her ability to communicate with anyone and everyone.
Because I know you were sharing a story with me when you were talking to me about she always did her best, that even when she was very ill and towards the end of her life, when she couldn't necessarily do much, up until the end, though, she was still trying to sing. She was still trying to dance. And she even cooked like a very big meal, right, for the family.
Yeah. She passed away. She was diagnosed. I remember even because she was losing strength in even her abdominal muscles. So she looked like she was 9 months pregnant because muscle tone was being lost. And it was hard for her to even stand up. And she looked like a giant balloon, and she made Christmas. The last dinner that she made for everybody was Christmas dinner 6 months before she died. And this is a dinner for like 20 people, my entire family. And
how did she have the strength, right?
She did, because you know what? She loved to cook and she showed her love to people through cooking. This is where I got it from. She continued to do her best, but man, she did the things that showed she loved you. And it was through food and cooking. And I don't know how she did it, but by truly the love in her heart. And that's why she did it. So for me, I still have some videos of her singing the very last time with my dad. She loves karaoke. And the last song that she recorded singing with my dad was sitting at home. She was singing Somewhere Out There.
I'm sure when you hear that song, it's hard not to shed a tear.
Yeah, exactly. But she still did it. And ALS affects your muscles. So even getting her voice out took monumental effort. And I love and appreciate that she did that. And that makes me appreciate what everyone out there with autoimmunity is struggling with, and how hard, even sometimes holding a brush to comb your hair, holding a hair dryer, how even driving a car for some of us is very, very difficult. And so we are always continue to do your best. But what I want to do, my mission is, let's make it easier.
Yes.
Let's make it easier. Like if my mom had 6 more months to sing, what would that have meant for her? If she could dance one more waltz with my dad, what would that have meant for her? So for me, it's like, let's stop the autoimmunity. Let's turn it around so we get better and better and longer quality of life. That's the goal here. That's what drives me here to do that.
Because I know you didn't, when you know better, you do better, but you didn't.
Maya Angelou says that.
Yes, exactly.
That's so funny. Maya Angelou is my my inspiration as well. She, to me, actually represents my mom to me in so many ways.
Wow.
And that's one of the quotes I love is, when you know better, you do better. right? The other quote I love from Maya Angelou that reminds me of my mom is, when people show you who they are, believe them.
Believe them. I
Ooh,
experienced that as well.
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so for me, one of the things that I really want to do is for Mother's Day, I really do want to share the gift of my mom. And one of the things that I want to do, oh, Herbert
I
says she's
know.
looking
She's
down
looking
on
down
you.
in heaven and is very proud of you. I know you were so proud of her, Dr. Maggie.
Herb. I haven't seen Herb in ages.
A graduate a long time ago,
A friend.
a friend.
Thank you,
Oh,
Herb.
how
You
sweet.
rock.
Well, I know that he's right, that she would be very, very proud of everything that you're doing today.
Yeah, and what I would love to do, especially since it's Mother's Day weekend, is I'd like to actually share the gift of my mom with everybody here who's watching. Is I would love we're going to have a Mother's Day sale with 10% off the entire store,
That's
and
it.
the guys, the code to get the gift discount is Teresa Yu, my mother's name. So we're going to give the link to the store there, and we're going to share the code to get the discount code as well. But I also named one of our supplements after her.
Okay, so let's talk about it, because I know it's got a fun name, and this is a behind the scenes information that you're getting now. Maybe you've taken the supplement before, but now we know it's named for your mom, and that supplement is
Love her. This is actually part of our Hormone Essentials line. If you go to our store, it's under Essentials, and this Hormone Essentials, and the first Hormone Essentials, Love Her.
It's a critical. This is, if you're
It
going to
is.
start with one supplement to balance hormones, this is the one.
I think it's also critical for people with autoimmune disease in general, because all of us have hormone problems, and
Yes.
Love Her is actually good for men and women. And it's so interesting is that I look at every single ingredient in here, and it literally covers every single step in hormone balancing.
Can we talk about the ingredients?
Yeah, I mean, and don't stop at Lover. There are other essentials. I think the Autoimmune Essentials line is really, I think, great. Like, this is what would I send my mom? What would I share with my mom right now if she was alive? She would get a bottle of Love Her for sure, because her hormones are jacked up. I'm just telling you. I'd be like, woman, like, and why? Like, if you look at these B vitamins, for example, here, like this B6 as P5P, that's the best quality you're going to get. The folate, the B12, they're methylated. We need these methyl groups to actually help produce and break down hormones. You look at the calcium D-glucarate right here. We need that to actually help the good bacteria, the good guys in our gut, to actually break down hormones. Magnesium is, I love my brain, I love my muscles. Green tea extracts, really great to decrease the sensitivity of, helps balance blood sugar, but it helps decrease the effect of testosterone, which many women can be sensitive to, especially in your skin. That's why we get those chin hairs. Wow. And then you look at black hohash, really great for hot flashes. Trace tree berry. Trace tree extract is really great, by the way, to help your mother hormone. Back to Mother's Day, back to mom, back to Chase tree. It's Chase tree extract is really great to actually help increase progesterone, the mother hormone. So it actually helps balance other hormones as well. So measuring hormones, understanding the role of progesterone is important, but Chase tree extract in here, the Vitex, is vital to actually help with increasing and improving that mother hormone. That's another reason why this is called Love Her, is that this Chase tree in here helps your mother hormone. And turmeric is great for liver and hormone balancing. Liver is great for liver. And glucoraphanin is from broccoli extract, which is our cruciferous vegetables, which, again, back to food. This is where food meets medicine, is using the medicinal properties of foods. And one of my favorite dishes to make, my mom loved bok choy. You could just use literally garlic and olive oil and saute some bok choy. And bok choy, a whole plate of bok choy. My mom and dad love bok choy. Cabbage. My mom would even just stir fry a plate of cabbage. So really, I want to take, Love Her really embodies to me all this, like all the things that you can do to love your hormones, but it also, to me, takes a look at the culinary history of showing our love through food and using food as medicine to incorporate into our supplementation. So FYI, Love Her was named after my mom. If I had to pick one supplement for anyone and everyone with autoimmune disease, and all of you have hormone issues, Love Her 2 a day, any time of day, would be a great supplement. And this is for any age. And if any of you are interested in like a hormone checklist to find what are the hormone symptoms for any age group, put hormone checklists in the comment section and check your messages later today or tomorrow, and we'll get you our hormone checklist. You know, I wrote the hormone checklist really looking at symptoms my mom had, symptoms I had, symptoms my mom had after she delivered our baby, us, you know, watching my mom go through menopause, watching my own early menopause, and then dealing with thousands of patients with hormonal issues. So there's a hormone checklist if you're interested in. It's a full booklet. So go ahead and put hormone checklist in the chat. That'd be great.
Because all
Yeah,
of this
go ahead.
came from hypothetical scenarios. This all came from your real life experiences.
Yeah.
And it's why I think that's probably why it's so successful, because you put your love into this too. You know, everything that you dealt with, everything that your mom dealt with, you're putting all of that energy into helping others now. And a note about the supplement too, I love how it's balanced. It's almost like we're balancing your hormones, and we have so many balanced things in there, because like I know with my functional medicine doctor, she's tried to balance my hormones through just using DIM before, and clearly it's not enough. You have so many other things in there that play a role that I'm missing out on by not taking Love Her.
Well, yeah, and the thing is that there are so many steps in hormone production that involves various organs in your body that we teach in our program. There's also so much involved with using your data to also determine what hormone supplements you need. But there's also like hormone breakdown happens throughout various areas of your body. You can't just supplement one supplement, one step. It's when you look at Love Her, it's actually helpful for it. It's helpful for hormone production. It's also helpful for hormone phase 1 detoxification and phase 2 breakdown. So there's a lot of biochemistry involved, but I like to dumb it down and really make it super simple and just say, man, love her, love yourself. Two of those a day would be really great. So if there's one supplement to pick up, I think that would be a great one. But again, we're dealing with many people with autoimmune disease, and we haven't done a supplement breakdown in a while or answered any questions. Right. And I would love to, if anyone in the audience have any questions about what are some hormone essential supplements that are really, that would be great. You can post some questions in there. Angie just said, I lost my mom at the age of 25 and can relate so much. Your mom is super proud of you wherever her spirit is now. Oh, Angie, thank you so much.
Yeah, a lot of people relating, because we're seeing a lot of comments. This person also said, such a massive loss for Dr. Maggie, but now she's reaching out to you to stop your autoimmune hell. Be the mom your kids need. Get help here. Clearly somebody who was able to get help through the program and understands the importance of passing this down through the generations.
Yeah. So for me, I think that I want to honor my mom every Mother's Day. And and the post I wrote in 2018 is super sad. But I would say that the woman I am in 2022 and the woman I am in 2018 is also really different. I would say that in 2018, I still will always hurt and mourn for my mom. But what I've done since then is made a series of decisions and actions to do better and to do my best. And that's in every aspect of my life, including, supplement development, teaching this program, social media, in actually educating the public about this, being a better mother and being a better person, being a better cook, being a better teacher. I am constantly learning and growing from that. And so today I would say that what I'm most proud of is being open and curious and leading with that and taking everything that I've learned and being able to share that.
Right. And it's what you talk about, you're living what you preach. Those series of decisions and steps that you take is going to make the difference between, are you going to be successful at what you're trying to do or not? You have to make those decisions and take those steps to get to the outcome that you want to get to.
Oh, that's a cute one. Mom's here to take action.
Yeah, you're Dr. Maggie.
That's so cute. And what I would love to do is I am just going to go through a couple. Some people are like, well, what supplements should I get that are, and I just want to take a couple minutes to go over our Autoimmune Essentials. If you guys have any questions about that, because people are always asking questions with supplements and we never have enough time on our lives to go through it. So if you have any question on the supplements, feel free to go ahead and post it right now in chat. But right now, this is our Autoimmune Essential. When you head to the store, just under the Essentials, this is the Autoimmune Essentials. And I would say, think a couple things to think about. I would say Pro Omega 1000, having a high dose, high quality omega 3 is really crucial in autoimmunity, because there's literally 1,000 ways with which the high quality omega at the adequate doses for autoimmunity. So we're talking 3 of these a day, which is 3,000 milligrams, is what's needed to actually decrease inflammation in your joints, to decrease joint pain, decrease brain inflammation, to help with brain fog, to also help you make healthy hormones. This is the building blocks. These omegas are actually building blocks, actually hormone genesis.
What's the source of the omega?
Say that again.
What's the source of this omega-3?
Yeah, it's really, that's the other thing, is it's so important to really look at where, like, what you want to do is, when you actually buy fish oil, most people, when they buy a fish oil, they go to Costco, buy the Nature Made or the Kirkland brand, and then they burp fish and then they never eat it again. The problem is that when you get that, you don't know what the sources are. And the thing is, the testing that's done on the heavy metals or pesticides in it, or the quality in it, it's done in really large batches. So they're not really catching low quality batches at all. So it's really important to really get fish that are low in mercury, no pesticides, no pesticides, heavy metals. And the important things too also is, don't look at giant big fishes. You really want small fishes. So it's really important for us, when we look at our fish oil and we look at the sourcing of where it's from, is you really want it from cold waters that are really clean, and you want sources of fish that are small, high in quality omegas that don't, and they're tested in little small batches to make sure that every batch is really pure and clean. So like, that's really important. So Pro Omega 1000, I think that's actually one of our biggest selling supplements. The other one I would say is there's D 5000. Everybody autoimmunity at least 5,000 or D. The rest, any higher than that, should be based on your data. Curcumin. People keep talking about curcumin, and curcumin, you got to take the high doses and at the right quality, and it has to be like released. It's released so that it's not just like in and out of your system. So this,
and talk about its relation to turmeric.
Yeah, turmeric is the spice, whereas the active molecule in there is cumin and curcumin. But even curcumin has many different forms, most of which aren't absorbed or do jack. They don't do jack. So there's a lot of science and research around what is the specific molecule of curcumin that's most absorbable, not destroyed in your body, and actually works to help calm autoimmunity. So that's what goes into it. And with Curcu Plus, people will take 1 or 2 a day, depending on the situation. Like maintenance, 1 a day is plenty. And it's a very high dose, high quality. And it is actually, the way that it's released really gets utilized. And that's the best thing about that. So that's Curcu Plus. Golden Balance, of course, is the mug. I call it the mug of I love myself every night, which I have tons of videos on how I use Golden Balance to actually foam up in a foamer with any sort of non-dairy milk. It's got the curcumin in there, our top quality curcumin in there. It's got the protein in there in the terms of collagen in there. And it's got all these herbs that actually help your liver balance your blood sugar and your hormones throughout the night. So 1 scoop of that every night, literally the cornerstone of our program.
I've heard people talk about how they've only added Golden Balance and things turned around.
I know. I mean, you should see the testimonial videos around Golden Balance. My brother-in-law, who's an internal medicine doctor and an acupuncturist, I gifted him some Golden Balance. I didn't say anything about it. I was like, for shits and giggles, try it out. And he's like, he calls me like a week later, can I get another bottle of that? My joint pain is gone in the morning. What's in there?
What is going on? This is magical powder.
It really is. I mean, the combination of herbs in there really is helpful for pain, blood sugar balancing, hormone balancing, and it's delicious, right?
Yeah, so oh my God, Golden Balance is the bomb, game changer. Absolutely. We're not making this up.
No, as Dr. Maggie was, I can't make this up. But again, that is food as medicine. And that's so important to me, is like, use food, use that snack every night to actually heal your body. And it's delicious, and it's warm, it's delicious, it's foamy. I have videos of me with a little foamer every night with this thing. Incredible.
I watched you use your foamer the other day. Somebody brought up an old video, commented on an old video of you making it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get one. It's like, you want one of those foamers after you watch it.
It's true. And I use it to make my matcha in the morning as well. So in the morning, I'll take organic matcha powder and I'll add our Pro Collagen WB right here to make basically kind of a different version of Golden Balance in the morning. So at night, I'll do golden balance at night. But in the morning, I'll take the matcha, 1 teaspoon of the matcha powder. I will mix it, blend it with some really quick hot water, put the hot water or hot milk in there and foam it up with some of the pro collagen WB in there, like half a scoop to a scoop of it. And man, it's like frothy, yummy creaminess. There's a lot of pictures. I consider it food porn in the alumni group and in the den of people in the program that are sharing their picture of the mug of their matcha latte in the morning. And there's a video of me making matcha latte in the den. Yes. So that has like green tea extract, has EGCG, which is really helpful for blood sugar balancing and hormone balancing. That's another food as medicine. So using the collagen WB to add to like your green tea in the morning, how much easier can that get to love yourself and be an example of good health for you, but for your kids as well? I love to share like instead of like drinking a coffee in the morning, I do have coffee sometimes in the morning, but that green matcha latte is like, I was watching one of our alumni, Amanda, and her daughter, Emma, and my daughter's Emma too. And they were every morning in their family, they're making the matcha latte, and her husband, Eddie, has perfected the recipe. He was showing me how with the hand blender, he does the whole thing. And I was like, dude, we should have a video of you making with a hand blender.
Legit. Well, and you mentioned children. I was going to ask you, talk about, can children take these same supplements? Is it safe for them?
So golden balance is actually really great and safe to make as basically it's like a chai tea at night, right? Collagen is something that you can put into the food for your kids. Like I think about how so many moms struggle with like, how do I get protein into my kid's diet or something? There's no reason you can't make soup and just throw in a scoop of pro collagen WB right in there to up the protein in there. Even if you make chocolate pudding, you can throw a scoop of Pro Collagen WB in there. We have a recipe in the Facebook group for a fat bomb, and alumni actually shared how they used my fat bomb recipe, but they added either half a scoop or a scoop of the Pro Collagen WB. So it's not just a fat bomb, it's a protein bomb as well.
Okay. Like a lot of bang for your buck there.
Yeah, here's the thing. We're talking alumni who have a lot of food trauma. And now they're like starting to get curious, creative, and excited about cooking again and sharing food, eating again for themselves, but sharing food and getting involved with their children to actually create hormone or autoimmune turnaround. I mean, we just had a photo of Diane the other night when we did the live, and Diane with her daughter was watching the videos with her and our live sessions with her and learned so much. And her daughter was struggling with heavy periods. Okay, gone. Can her daughter's a teenager take Lover? Yes, she did.
That's the ultimate gift, like you talk about killing Godzilla while he's an egg.
Yes, and why not do that with your children? And so I look at this. Another one is our Pro MCT, right? Which is oil. Like we need really healthy fats. That's the other thing is we nurture our body through food with protein, fat, and fiber. Healthy fat's really important. And Pro MCT is C8. People think, oh, I'm doing coconut oil. It's good. But the best part of coconut oil is MCT, which is only like about 40% of a coconut oil. And then in MCT, there's like C8, C9, C10, all these other C's. But C8 is the one that has the best health benefit because C8 actually will soothe your gut. It's also antibacterial in your gut and antifungal. It crosses the blood-gut barrier and it goes to your brain. And it's like rocket fuel for your brain because your brain's made of fat. It wants to get healthy fat in. C8 will cross the blood-brain barrier right in. And those of you brain fog, if you want to throw a little of the C8 straight into your matcha latte in the morning or in your coffee in the morning, you want to use it as salad dressing. It's like, this is what using food to heal your body looks like. It can be that easy.
It can be. And you're talking about fat bombs. Irene says the fat bombs are amazing. Tastes like peanut butter cup. So good.
You can. And that's the thing is, don't go for a Reese's peanut butter cup. Make the fat bomb. You can have one every night. So I love that we're making food delicious, right? And then if you look at our protein powder, if you're like, I can't make a meal, I just want to do smoothies. Our product, our hormone balancing, autoimmune balancing protein powder is amazing. It's called Nourish Her. It's got this mango kind of almost mango chai kind of flavor, which I love. And it's got the herbs in there to actually balance your hormones, your liver. It's got the fats, the protein.
Okay.
right? And I've really thought about everything in the formulation of these. So if you're gonna have you don't have time to cook and you want a meal replacement, get Nourisher because it's great for your autoimmunity, blood sugar, and for your hormones. And then you could throw in the fruit, the greens in there. If you want extra fat in there, throw in the Pro MCT. You're like, I want some crazy amount of protein in there. Throw in a scoop of Pro Collagen WB if you need to. So there's so many ways with which food can be can nourish you, just like mama's food does. You can add, these are what I call medical foods. That's another way with which you can love yourself.
Somebody
And
else saying Nourisher is delicious. They
it
agree.
really is.
Yeah.
And it's the damn diggity bomb. You think you got hot flashes every night? You know what? If you make yourself a smoothie in the evenings with Nourisher, you can thank me later.
I know. I'm feeling hot now as it is. I might even get some of that.
Yeah. And then you got, probiotics. Feed the good bacteria in your gut. Be the mom that loves your good bacteria in your gut. ProFlora AI is a specific probiotic formulated to feed the good bacteria in your gut so that what do? They break down all the toxins. They break down all the hormone breakdown products to carry it out of your body so you can have hormone balance. But you got to feed them. You got to build them. So ProFlora AI is the good bacteria that will go into your body, populate your large intestine. That's really super helpful for food sensitivities, autoimmunity, hormone balancing, you name it, you got it. And then these good bacteria will utilize all that healthy fiber that you're eating to help break down all those hormones that are excess and balance it and take it out of your body. We call that phase 2 detoxification. But to keep it simple, take ProFlora AI, and it's just one a day, and that's going to help nourish your gut bacteria.
Another Nourisher mango fan over here. Nourishment key to stopping your autoimmune struggle. Another user saying they really enjoy that. But so many important supplements on the Autoimmune Essentials line. It sounds like that you can really get started with and take advantage of this sale. Remind everybody what the sale is once again.
Yeah, we're having a Mother's Day sale, and it's a gift in honor of all the mothers out there and my mom for Mother's Day until Monday night at midnight. We are having 10% off the entire site. And when you go in there and you check out, the gift code is my mother's name, which is Teresa Yu.
Teresa Yu, because I know she inspired you and you think of her every day, but really all of us who believe in this program, have benefited from this program, we have her to thank as well. Because if she was the inspiration behind this, I think all of us can say thank you, Miss Teresa Yu. Really? No, I mean, she's made an impact. She's made an impact on you, and through you, she's made an impact on so many people.
Well, think about this. My mom took one for the team so that I could learn how to save my own life so that now when I think about in my course of my 26-year career, how many people I've worked with to turn around their autoimmunity, it's probably over 10,000 plus that have worked with me. And then I think about the reach of these videos and the education of this way beyond that. I mean, I would love it that I would love to help 1 million people, whether they work with me or not, learn how to be an example and turn around their autoimmunity.
Oh, you're well on your way to that. Well on your way, I'm sure. Just looking at the Facebook group reach in and of itself, the main Facebook group, you said it's the largest one now?
55,000. We're celebrating it. Who wants a party?
I
think we need to throw a party in the Facebook group reaching 55,000. And for those of you, it would be really great if you are watching this on YouTube, click a subscribe, give a thumbs up. Tell me one thing you learned today that was really, comment guys underneath our videos right now. Tell me one thing that you learned today that was a big aha for you, or share something about your mom that really inspired you. I love the fact that we're a community and we share these lessons with each other. Tell me one lesson your mom taught you that influenced you as a person or as a mother. I would love to see that in the comment section. I would love to see that. Let's all of us celebrate our mothers, and all of you that are mothers out there, I want to celebrate you. It is not an easy day for some of us. And some of us are spending Mother's Day alone. So I want to reach out to all of you, and I want you to feel the love that our mothers have instilled in us and the lessons that our mothers have taught us, and every day strive to do our best. And so happy Mother's Day to everybody out there.
Happy Mother's Day. You're certainly inspiring love as well. This person says powerful inspiration begets now with Dr. Maggie being here, getting your autoimmune health back. So
Aw.
it's what it's all about. You're sharing the love that your mother instilled in you and the lessons that she instilled in you, and it's much appreciated. I know Sunday is going to be a tough day for you, but it's like you said, you look back on years past and maybe it was tough in a different way. And this year, even though it will be tough and it'll be tough every year, maybe you can look at it through a little bit of a different lens now, knowing that you have made decisions and took steps along the way to change some things.
Yep. I absolutely agree. So I hope that the inspiration of my mom inspires some of you to learn more, make decisions about your health, and most importantly, take action.
Kathy says second Mother's Day since her mother had passed. And she taught me I could do almost anything if I put my mind and heart into it. Isn't that
That's
true?
what my mama said.
Yeah, mothers are so special. They give so much of themselves.
Yeah.
And your mother gave up her career and
did.
her home to move you. I know you shared that before, to move you to this country so that you could have the life that they thought that you needed.
That's such a good point. I am a doctor today because my mom gave up her fashion career to move us here.
Mm-hmm.
I am a doctor today because my mother gave up her fashion designer career to move us here.
I mean, think about that. She loved her life, but she was willing to give it all up for you.
Yeah. What are we willing to do for our children?
Mm-hmm. And don't throw away that gift. Think about what you're willing to do for yourself as well, because if you focus on yourself and what's best for you, it's a gift to your family as well.
I agree. And it was interesting because even in the mastermind call the other day, someone was talking about how their kids was watching them and watching some of the videos and learning to do things. Like the kids are like, was taking their probiotic and they're like, where's my tummy? Where's my tummy medicine or something? Where's my, and like the child was going to school every day and having the probiotic with their lunch or something. Like, I need my probiotic, please.
Well, it goes back full circle now to what you said. Will you be an example?
Exactly. I love that. Yes. So be an example, everybody. Have a wonderful Mother's Day.
Okay. Happy Mother's Day.